So we're stealing a few minutes with Christina Huffington. She represented the youth today on our panel discussion, and Christina joins me now here at the White House after the event. Thank you so much for not only being part of today's panel discussion, but also for talking to us here at the Blaze.
Well, thank you so much. You were such an incredible moderator, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful panel.
No, I think it was remarkable that this event was at the White House.
Absolutely.
And so wonderful that you were able to be a part of it. You're 25.
Yes.
You've been in recovery for 2.5 years, right? What was the moment for you where you said, I need to do this, I need to change my life?
You know, so what happened with me is I was in my final year of college. I was 2 months away from graduation. I ended up in the emergency room after having taken too many drugs. And even that for me, honestly, was not enough for me to want to leave and go to treatment. But what happened was my little sister, who was my best friend and my heart, came into my room one day crying, and she said, "You have no idea what you're doing to us. You have no idea how much this hurts, and you owe it to us." And it broke me in the best possible way, and I was desperate.
Did you agree with her that you had no idea the effect that you were having on the family?
Yes, I think because I honestly had no idea the effect I was even having on myself, I think, until I stopped using. I knew I was depressed, I knew I was miserable, I knew I felt hopeless, but I think, you know, you start to think you really are only hurting yourself. You don't see the like shock waves.
Yeah.
So that for me was it, and I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah, it's great to be sober, isn't it?
It's incredible. It's, you know, we were talking about, it's just so much fun, and I never thought, you know, you don't get sober at 22 to have a miserable rest of your life.
Right, that's right.
You know.
And I love how you pointed out that recovery is fun. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, you can never drink again, you can never do any drugs again, you are never going to have any more fun in your life.
I mean, it's actually, quite honestly, the opposite, because I wasn't having fun the last couple of years I was using. Forget about it. I was using alone in my room. How is that fun, you know?
No, I remember drinking alone too.
Yeah. And you know, now suddenly I have like real connections with people. I have conversations with people. I, you know, share emotions without being high on cocaine. And it's like, I can't even, it's night and day.
It's an authentic life.
It's an authentic life, exactly.
And it's a life of freedom.
Exactly.
I mean, don't you feel
100%.
So much freer now that you're honest about everything?
It's incredible. It just it sort of struck me the other day that I couldn't remember the last time I'd lied. And you know, I think if you had asked me that 3 years ago, I would have been like 20 seconds ago. And it was like a perpetual, you know, I was just perpetually lying, and I was perpetually in denial, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting to live that life, I think.
It is. During the panel, we talked about the importance of the youth recovery movement. What do you want to tell young people who are struggling with this disease?
I think first what you said is that sobriety and recovery can be fun, and they actually allow you to have a life. They don't end your life in any way. And the other thing is that you don't have to fit the idea of an alcoholic, of what you think is an alcoholic, to go into treatment and to get sober. You know, I thought, here I am, a 22-year-old girl, I thought, you know, an alcoholic is an old man. An alcoholic is somebody who has lost everything.
In
we
a
talked
trench
about
coat.
This. Yes, literally
with a paper
in the
bag
rain.
of whiskey.
Yes, absolutely. And so, you know, I thought, I don't need to get sober. You know, I'm not an alcoholic, and it only really was meeting other people like me that sort of showed me that yes, I really am an alcoholic. And so I think that's what I want to get across, is to look for the similarities.
You are very fortunate because you have a lot of family support, and you did from the very beginning.
Immensely fortunate.
Yes.
Yes.
And to what extent has your mother been a part of your recovery?
Huge, integral part of my recovery, and I recognize how lucky that is, because I know a lot of people who do not have that. And she has, you know, she held my hand the whole way at the beginning, and she is now my best friend, and our relationship is something I could never have imagined. And she also, you know, Director Botticelli was talking about earlier today during the event. He was saying, you know, it's difficult to hate something up close, and, you know, she is so demonstrative, not that she ever, you know, thought anything bad about addiction, but seeing addiction up close, she's now made it one of her causes, and she really tries to get the Huffington Post to cover it a lot more, and, you know, to keep at the story even when there's not something newsworthy, like, you know, a celebrity train wreck or something like that.
Well, and in fact, the Huffington Post has an entire section dedicated to addiction and recovery, which is pretty remarkable.
It's incredible, and I'm so grateful to her that she's really seen that. But I think, you know, that's also what we were talking about, is that it touches every family, and that once you see it up close, it's very difficult to think that that's not my family, that's not my child, you know, that'll never happen to me. And I think that, you know, is what everyone is trying to get across right now.
Yeah. What does recovery mean to you?
So recovery to me, I guess, you know, I sort of lived my life thinking I wouldn't be able to manage anything, wouldn't be able to handle anything without a substance, you know, to numb the pain or elevate the happiness. And now it's really like I just take life as it comes, and it doesn't mean it's always easy. I mean, there are times where I've had my heart broken in recovery. You know, people get sick in recovery. It happens.
I've lost 2 jobs in recovery.
Yes, it happens, and you get through it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to use over it. And it's just sort of that's where the freedom is, I think, right? Is that nothing, you know, there was one of the girls, there was a performance earlier today, and one of the girls was singing about how the fact that she realizes that nothing is bigger. Nothing in her life, no person, no thing is bigger than this power greater than herself, that she sort of turned her life over. And I thought that was so brilliant and beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah. And we're at the White House.
Yes, insane! It's insane!
I know, it is.
It's totally insane. Thank you so much,
Oh, Christina
Laurie.
Huffington, thank you so much.